Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart Architectural Programming. If you're diving into our book Introduction to Java, this is the perfect companion video for you. Today we're examining two essential parts of Java collections, framework and list interface, and the array classes. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So let's start with the basics, right? The list interface in Java is an ordered collection that can contain duplicate elements. Think of it like a dynamic array, but with superpowers. It defines a contract for how lists should behave, but doesn't provide implementation details. On-screen graphics, as you can see, show you the key property. Have ordered elements, insertion order is usually preserved, allows duplicates, index-based indexing access is allowed, and supports iteration and random access. So let's look over a piece of code to further exemplify what we're talking about here. So as you can see here, we have a piece of code here, right? We use list reference to hold an array list. Let me highlight these things using the pen. So let's use a vanishing pen instead, right? And the color red. So as you can see, we have a list reference here that you can see here, and that particular list reference is basically a reference to hold an array list that you can see here. See this one here. So what happens is that's because this is done because list isn't just an interface. It can refer to any class that implements it, like array lists, linked lists, and more. So we're not going to spend more time going over this particular situation here. So let's move on to the next thing that we need to focus on. And that is the array list class. We need to understand that as well. So let's now zoom in one of the most popular implementations of the list interface, the array list class. And again, like before, you'll see we have key properties of array lists here. And mind my poor use of the pen, but because it disappears. And this particular array list is right here for your perusal, right? So what are the key properties of an array list? It implements the list interface. It is backed up by a sizable array, and it has fast random access like an array, and slower insertion and removal in the middle because it shifts elements. So what you need to understand is, we need to understand certain aspects of array list. Array list that is used here, and array list that is used here, right? How there are important aspects to this. We have the .add function to this. We have the get function for this. And we have the set function and the size functions, right? Notice how easily we added and removed elements here. You see us adding elements here, and we're removing elements here, right? In this piece of code. ArrayList handles the resizing behind the scenes, so we don't need to worry about array limits at all. So that is an important aspect to arrays. So another thing that let's move on to the next thing, but the next thing is just a comparison between array lists and lists themselves. Again, my vanishing pen, and you need to understand basically, how do you decide which particular aspect of the listing systems in Java to use, right? Use list as your reference type when you want flexibility. For example, if you might want to switch between ArrayList and LinkedList later. Use ArrayList when you need to know, you need a dynamic array and a performance on random access is priority. So let's go over these features here. If we talk about type interface, when we talk about list interface, the type is interfacing. While when we talk about array list type, it's a concrete class, right? Similarly, can it be instantiated? The list interface, it can be instantiated, right? But it cannot be instantiated. But the array list here, it can be instantiated. Similarly, flexibility that we're talking about here. List interface has high flexibility with multiple aspects to it. An array list has a very specific implementation that we need to look for. What are these known best for, right? When we talk about list interface, it is known best for abstraction and flexibility, while array list class is known for fast random access and simplicity. It is a very, very useful tool if it's used at the right place and for the right usage. So let's wrap up. Like that was pretty much what we needed to cover in this video, right? So to recap, list is the interface for defining the behavior. Array list is one powerful way to implement it. You'll use these structures all the time when managing collections in Java. If this helped clarify the difference between list and array list, give us a like. Subscribe to Smart Architectural Programming, and don't forget to check out our Introduction to Java book for deeper learning. With that, we're going to wrap up and hope you keep coding smarter and keep watching Smart Architectural Programming. Thank you.